Please, these gays, they're trying to murder me.
The clock is ticking, and Inzoi's early access is finally here, and so is the drama. So let's start with the most bad news. Word on the street is that Inzoi is homophobic.
What the hell?
Well, kinda. I watched a video recently about being LGBTQ in Inzoi.
Gays do not exist in this game unless you make your own character gay, which just feels a little bit crap.
And to be honest with you, it had me shook. Because in Inzoi, it appears that the characters simulated by the game itself are programmed to always be 100% straight. You heard that right. I'm talking not even 10% fruity. Not even you've had 10 shots of tequila and the homies start looking a little too good kind of fruity. Happens to the best of us. But not Inzoi, because it appears that unless you create a character yourself and intentionally make them gay AF, Inzoi has been coded so that gay and lesbian and bisexual characters are not randomly generated or spawned by the game.
And I went through so many pre-made Zois and they were all straight. When it comes to having gay characters in the game, as you can see, I haven't come across any. I've spoken to a lot of people, including people off camera.
I set out to investigate for myself. I made this Zoi over here, he's strictly dickly. Woo! And believe me we went around to every man in this damn city, and shocker, they was all straight. Even this little fruity booty over here with the perm,
I'm homosexual,
said he was straight.
What's that?
I'm sorry, but I find that difficult to believe.
Is your family accepting of your LGBTQ lifestyle?
Meaning you could play Inzoi and never come across a non-straight character, and as much as we all love the straights, they're kind of boring, not gonna lie. Now apparently an Inzoi moderator has come out and stated that this is a bug. Is it a bug in the same way that they coded straight marriage into the game but somehow ignored coding gay marriage for 2 years? Or in the same way that the game only allows straight married couples to have children? Because both of those things seem like they were done on purpose. If this is the case, it means that Inzoi sort of fails as a life simulation game. Believe it or not, people play life simulation games in a variety of ways and for a multitude of reasons. And out of all of the game genres that exist, I think it's most important for a life simulation game to give people the freedom to play however they want. And to be straight with you, Inzoi appears to be a little too limiting in some very important ways. This might come as a shock to you that I, a millennial, am saying this, but I actually don't care about anyone's personal beliefs. This video is definitely not me saying that you have to care about gay people in a life simulation game. And it's also not me being woke or DEI. It is about whether you can simulate life successfully in Inzoi with as few limitations as possible. And therein lies the problem. When it comes to LGBT representation, Inzoi has been waving around red flags for a while. In March of last year, Inzoi hit me up. I got an email from them and they invited me to be in a private Discord group for influencers, so I joined. But why am I telling you this? Because I only asked a single question in that private Discord, and it was about gay marriage. The Inzoi team had not uttered a single word about it, and it didn't appear to be possible in the game at all. So I asked on Discord, and 6 days later, an Inzoi developer, the one who's talking in this video actually,
that's a real deal breaker for a lot of people.
He answered, and he said it would be possible. They even updated the FAQ on Discord because of my question. But here is the weird part. Right after this developer replied to me, I was kicked out of the influencer server that they had invited me to. This raised a huge red flag to me. The only explanation I can give you is this. I think LGBTQ representation has always been an afterthought to the Inzoi team. Maybe they were a little embarrassed and they were caught off guard by my question. I don't know. Around 4 months later, during the second round of playtest, a content creator revealed what I had believed to be true the entire time. Same-sex marriage was not possible in Inzoi.
And then I never got the option to have the Zois
marry. Not good that this is not included in the game at this point.
Even though it appears that same-sex marriage does exist in Inzoi today, although some people had problems getting it to function, it's evident that Inzoi's work is not done. From the straight-only characters to the terminology used for married Zois, which Sachon Sims very astutely pointed out in his video.
If you're gonna make gays simply be referred to as partners, just make straights also, instead of having husband and wife, just do partner. Just make it partner for everyone. That way you don't run the risk of pissing people off and it's equality. You're welcome.
It appears that the Inzoi team has made a few missteps, and that's me putting it nicely. As a matter of fact, the mere existence of these limitations implies that the developers intentionally chose to prioritize straight characters. Just think about it. It is more work to limit what kind of characters can spawn in the game than it is to just allow any characters to spawn. They went out of their way to create these restrictions. When you put it that way,
that's suspicious.
It's kind of crazy. They're marketing this game to a global audience. And if you want to make a game that appeals to Westerners, for example, it's probably not smart to exclude features that they value. And to be honest, maybe it's not even that, because there's a lot of players from the West who don't necessarily value equality. A lot of people don't give a damn, and that's fine. You might be a conservative person who just likes playing The Sims. I'm not judging. But I think players deserve to have the option. Players want the freedom to create any kind of scenario they desire. I thought this was obvious, but I guess this genre is pretty new to crafting. I know a lot of people want to say it's a Korean game and that's why it's like this, or gays don't have rights in Korea so that's why you can't do it. But that logic isn't adding up. I'm pretty sure shooting someone in the head with an AK-47 is illegal in Korea, but I can do that in PUBG. I'm pretty sure if a woman walked around in 10-inch heels, a miniskirt, and a giant bow covering her tatas, a lot of Koreans would say that's inappropriate and they might even call the police. But we can do that with no problems and certainly no regrets in Stellar Blade, a Korean-made game. This video is not an attempt to attack the developers or to try to sabotage Inzoi. I just think this stuff is really important to talk about, especially now during early access. I want this game to succeed, not because I think it's a masterpiece, but because the life sim genre is in desperate need of competition. But unfortunately, the drama doesn't end there, and this time it's kinda messy. Question: who the hell is Denuvo, and why are people so mad at him? If you don't know, Denuvo is a notorious anti-piracy tool that game companies use to stop people from pirating their games. This is a tool that is embedded within game files and has historically caused performance issues. It can be used to limit script mods, and it's known for collecting a lot of user data, so there's a ton of privacy issues as well. Needless to say, gamers hate it. And the reason it conjures so much animosity among gamers is because it serves absolutely no benefit to them, and oftentimes it actually hurts their gaming experience while only benefiting giant game companies. So why am I talking about this? Well, recently someone dug into the files for Inzoi and discovered a sinister secret. Dirty Denuvo was hiding in the early access version of Inzoi.
What was that?
Oh my god, what is that?
This came as a surprise to a lot of people because many countries require games to disclose whether they use Denuvo or any DRM when their games are listed on platforms like Steam, and it appeared that Inzoi had not disclosed this. In other words, they lied and they were potentially breaking the law in some jurisdictions. Players were pissed, and rightfully so. I made a post here on YouTube and so many people in the comments said they were no longer gonna buy Inzoi because of this. But in a surprising turn of events, within 24 hours, Inzoi's game director made an announcement. In a statement released on Discord, he apologized for not being upfront with players and stated that after much thought, they have removed Denuvo from Inzoi.
Talented, brilliant, incredible, amazing show.
W's all around, folks. We won again. But I have to say something, because while a lot of people online were condemning Inzoi's use of Denuvo, there was still a surprising amount of people who were saying, stop complaining about Inzoi. Get over it. They were saying it's misinformation. They were accusing me and others of hating on Inzoi for calling this out. To these people, I have to say this. You are the problem. You are the reason we can't have nice things and why multi-billion-dollar companies get away with screwing players over. Krafton would not have done shit if they hadn't been called out. And this reversal is just them doing damage control, that much is obvious. However, I have to applaud them for ultimately making the right decision. They could have ignored the feedback. They could have done nothing. They could have gone full dictator mode and deleted all the negative comments like their mods were doing on Discord. Yes, let me repeat that. On Discord, the inzoi mods were deleting comments and banning people who complained about the Denuvo situation. Can I also just say another thing? I know these mods are like volunteers or some shit, but they are the literal worst. Inzoi, these are the people you've chosen to represent your game, and they're acting like mean girl dictators. Last year, I was even sent a screenshot of a DM where one of the inzoi mods, the one that goes moo, was talking mad shit about me. Yes, moderators chosen by the inzoi team are bad-mouthing content creators. That's a really good look for your game. And it's an even worse look because your ass got ratted out.
Thinking, finagling, thinking, finagling, responding, thinking, finagling.
Honestly, I think they all need to go. Fuck the mods, period. But anyway, my point is Krafton could have done nothing, but they didn't do nothing, and that means something. I don't usually give praise to these companies. I'm very critical, I'm fully aware of that, but props to you, Krafton. And I hope we, the players, continue holding their feet to the fire, as we should.
Si tu savais tout ce que je veux donner pour toi, mon amour. Si tu savais tout le bien que je pourrais te faire pour toujours. Si tu savais comme je voudrais n'aimer que toi, mon amour. Si juste tu me laissais, si juste tu me sais. Tu sais, les filles comme moi ne restent pas longtemps, mon amour. Il faut les attraper très vite avant qu'elles partent pour toujours. Tu as de la chance que je sois présente, mais si tu rêves, mon amour, je